Thanks for joining us. I'm Philip Coleman. Lynn Brooks has the evening off. Topping the news, teenagers and texting. According to a study by Allstate Insurance, car crashes are the #1 killer of teens. And more often than not, officials say distractions from cell phones are the culprit. More now in tonight's top story. Today, students at Tuscaloosa County's Hillcrest High School promised to X the text. They joined more than 125,000 others nationwide by taking the blue thumb ban as a reminder of the danger. Even faculty and staff at Hillcrest took part, promising to put down the phones. Students and teachers say there are a lot of things that can take your eyes off the road, but texting is different.
The radio, your face, like your hair, anything can be a distraction, like everything. People in the car can be a distraction, you know. They talk to you like, hey, look at this text.
That person is sending you a message and you immediately think, oh yes, and that draws you to that moment in time as opposed to being focused on, I'm driving in a car that's going 50 miles an hour and there are other people around.
And Allstate Representative Amber Capel compares 5 seconds of distracted driving to driving the length of a football field blindfolded. And U.S. transportation officials say that during the year 2009, more than 5,000 people's lives were taken by distracted driving. In other news, Governor Robert Bentley has declared a state of emergency because of the storms that slammed into Alabama. Bentley said damage was reported in 17 counties by midday. Thankfully, the damage was not as bad in West Alabama as it was in other parts of the state. However, some local residents did wake up to water covering a few roadways. This was seen on 10th Avenue here in Tuscaloosa. But it was a different story in Mobile County. These are pictures from Theodore. This is damage left behind from an apparent tornado. Storm spotters reported seeing this tornado, or the tornado that caused this, and debris in the air. Now, could there be more rocky weather ahead for us tonight? For the latest now on what you can expect, let's go to Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Hello, Richard.
Hey Phil, good news is there are some storms out there, but the good news, no tornadoes expected around here as we just have good old-fashioned thunderstorms working across the state right now. A broken line of storms roughly from Coleman back towards Northport, and these storms are moving off towards the east at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Some heavy rain, quick bursts of heavy rain, some lightning with these storms as well as they do race off towards the east, but some cooler air behind this and dry conditions behind us as well. We're talking cooler temperatures, and our forecast will include the dry weather. In fact, here's the forecast through tonight. Thunderstorms through 7 o'clock will be dry out after 10. Temperatures in the 40s by midnight. The rest of your forecast is coming up just a bit. Stay with us.
All right, thanks, Richard. State mental health officials are speaking about the proposed closing, or the certain closing, we should say, of Partlow Developmental Center. The Alabama Department of Mental Health announced last week they will close Partlow Developmental Center in Tuscaloosa in September. That means more than 400 people will be looking for new jobs. Commissioner Zelia Bow says the department made this decision based on a national movement to reintegrate residents back into the community. She says research shows that patients will do better in a community setting. Officials also want family members to be a part of this decision-making process.
Concerned and want to make sure that the families feel comfortable with the decisions we're making for their loved ones and that they're part of that decision making.
And also, spokesperson John Ziegler says the commissioner will begin meeting with the employees on Thursday on an individual basis. 2 bills that would improve driving safety take center stage in the Alabama legislature. An Alabama House committee has approved a bill prohibiting sending text messages while driving. A driver would be fined $25 for the first violation, $50 for the second, and $75 for the third. It now goes before the entire State House for debate. Another bill that's on the table concerns liability insurance. According to nationwide studies, 1/4 of Alabama motorists do not carry this insurance. Today, the Alabama Senate voted to set up a computer database to allow officials to check and see if a vehicle has liability insurance. that insurance is mandatory here in Alabama, this new bill would require insurance companies to provide data to the state as to which vehicles do have liability insurance. This bill now goes on to the State House. And Alabama Democratic lawmakers say even though that they are now in the minority, they will still continue to fight for issues they consider to be important, and those include taking the 4% sales tax off groceries, banning smoking in public places, and eliminating tax loopholes for out-of-state corporations. The so-called DROP program is one step closer to being over. The Deferred Retirement Benefits Program, also known as DROP, allows public employees at the point of retirement to continue working for 5 more years while putting their retirement benefits into a special interest-bearing account. Tuesday, the Alabama Senate voted to end those deferred retirement benefits, and this bill now goes on to the State House for debate, and if it does pass, it heads on to the governor's desk for his signature. Supporters say this bill would save more than $58 million each year, but opponents say it will encourage good teachers to retire and begin second careers in other states. It's a dream come true for 8 Tuscaloosa families. They now have a place to call home. Tuscaloosa County, Tuscaloosa Housing Authority hosted a ribbon-cutting ceremony today at a community called Cordell Heights. This community is located next to the McKenzie Court development in West Tuscaloosa. The new owners went through a homeowner traineeship program prior to today's event. WVUA spoke with homeowner Winfred Gamble, who says this is something she's been waiting for years.
I was one of the first people in the homeowners class that they had at the Housing Authority, and it's been about, I guess, 2 or 3 years, and after that I've been just waiting and waiting and waiting.
8 new houses as well as 8 new homeowners for the city of Tuscaloosa. I'm extremely elated at the progress the Housing Authority has made, and this is the closing phase of Hope 6 for McKenzie.
And the homeowners will close on the new houses in about 2 weeks. Cordell Heights, that community, as we said earlier, is located next to McKenzie Court in West Tuscaloosa.